2024 Low Ink, Saf and Keon here, yapping it up on the mic. We get to jump in to Royalty versus 2 Goober 2 Dash. Luckily, they're still playing their match, but luckily we get to catch them at a moment where Royalty has won the first game. They're in intermission between this game number 2, so we get to go and join them for the majority of that, Keon.
Yeah.
And listen, look at this. I believe that this is still a counter-picking type situation, and only 3 games. So Royalty having a huge upper hand here already to try to make their way into the losers finals.
And now the ultimate question for 2 Goober 2 Dash, which again now down 1-0, you only have two more chances to run it back. Is what is your ultimate strategy here? This one now. Part of me, side note, Saf, part of me was wondering if anybody would fall into the trap of Inkblot TC at some point. Thankfully, teams I think are starting to realize that is not a good idea. They decided to go to Scorch Clam Blitz for this counter pick here. We did see 2 Goober 2 Dash earlier in the on the cast today as well. Again, with DRF Neo handling that one, and this is a very strong team, but down 1-0 on the whole, and only having 2 more games and having to win the next 2. Now it's kind of an uphill battle here, Saf, for 2 Goober 2 Dash, but of course we should not count them out just yet.
No, for sure, and looking to try to find a spot to go toe to toe with Inkbound, who we got to see earlier on the stream. And Ink's having a really good time here today, Keon, but that isn't to say that 2 Goober 2 Dash isn't either. Also having to have the unfortunate bout between Sigma on Earth as well, and not finding too much victory there. But however, you have really great KAs coming out from the side of 2 Goober 2 Dash. One of them in particular being on Sports Forge Clam Blitz. You had Cheda getting a 20-11 KA, which Clam Blitz Sports Forge is where we're going to be seeing these 2 teams duking it out next. So I'm wondering with the performance that 2 Goober 2 Dash has shown here previously, I'm getting a feeling that this is going to be an excellent counter pick for them.
Yeah, if the trend plays out, this will be a very strong counter. The keyword is if, but I think I'm with you on this one. I feel like they have a game plan for Scorch Clam Blitz. We saw it earlier today as well, so it wouldn't be surprised if 2 Goober 2 Dash runs it back with a very similar-ish comp, of course, that they ran before. But the more important thing for Royalty is how do you deal with 2 Goober 2 Dash's counter pick? Of course, they won game 1, so that's a really huge step in this best of 3. So the bigger question is how do you deal with all the other members from 2 Goober 2 Dash? I believe Shay on the dualies earlier was just cooking up something fierce. So that's gonna be the key thing to look out for. In fact, both teams are gonna be queuing right up ahead, which it is for those keeping in mind. 2 Goober on the Bravo side, it will be Royalty or Loyalty. I think I got my wrong oilties involved there as well. As we take a look at the weapons right out of the gate here for this one, it shouldn't be any surprises here, Saf.
No, and no surprises here at all, but a very interesting amount of ink output coming out from 2 Goober 2 Dash. But Keon, I want to note here too, the pressure for 2 Goober 2 Dash is not something that they're unfamiliar with, considering that 2 of these folks got to play with Rainfall at Riptide earlier, just a few weeks prior, finding themselves in a very prestigious spot in the low ink alpha bracket at this point. 2 Goober 2 Dash making the opening statement with getting the first clam in the basket here, but Shay finding themselves down. That's their primary aggression and ink output coming from 2 Goober 2 Dash, but still no breaks coming out for 2 Goober 2 Dash, because Royalty's still trying to find their way out of the map here, looking to try to even just put some ink down. But wow. I mean, the amount of output coming out from 2 Goober 2 Dash, I mean, Keon, they're kind of just, it's like a cat and mouse type of game here.
Yeah, it's a cat and mouse type of game. And it is going to be Info, by the way, using that Tenebral, expertly able to block a few Trizuka shots, and then followed up with the Ink Bat to block the second one on top of it, which allows 2 Goober 2 Dash to still have full control, really, of Royalty's base so far. And this game continues to go along, but the ultimate question is, where is that power clan that is available for 2 Goober 2 Dash if they can take advantage? So far, there was none that was spawned, but Info is still keeping the space available for 2 Goober 2 Dash to strike if they can make it happen. The power clan has been spawned from Royalty, but again, a very messy fight, or a very brawly fight, if you will. It is going to end with a delayed 3. Royalty may have held the line for just long enough.
Yeah, and finally getting to respond out with some ink output of their own here, looking to try and take the team fight back to mid. Only one power clam pop from 2Goober2Dash, but an insane amount of time to hold down the basket area, Keon. But still, here comes the Stamp and the Kraken going to be trying to maybe create an opening here. So many clams on the side of Royalty as well. No hands to pick them up, though, unfortunately. 2 power clams going to be online, but that is 2 targets on their backs, as you can see. Infra looking to try to see if they can scope out an opening on the left-hand side here, but David going to be crucial in throwing some bombs to try to displace them a little bit, and still, though, it's going to be just enough for 2 members of Royalty, make it 3, ends up going down. 2Goober2Dash needs to find a really good entry point here, but, I mean, Keon, with the amount of clams that Royalty had there for a few seconds, it seems like 2Goober2Dash doesn't have too much to follow up with here.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, and all these clams are gonna be slow spawning up, but that was a good hold from 2Goober2Dash there. Royalty was looking for a very fierce push, but the assist from it's also an entire team effort there. Che got one side down, and the rest of the team held the line to prevent 2 power clams from being cashed in. Royalty has to now really get their clam economy back up and running. They're gonna lose GTR on that one. It is gonna be Joel as well going down on top of it. Again, this is a very excellent hold from 2Goober2Dash in what has effectively became a very defensive battle, if you will. Only just the 1 power clam cashed in from 2Goober2Dash. And Royalty still, again, they have the 1 power clam that is available. The pushes are coming slow because 2Goober2Dash's defense is doing such a phenomenal job at this stage, and it's burning so much time for Royalty to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, GTR looking to try to hold down some space here, but 2Goober2Dash is not allowing any breathing room here. Infra getting a little bit stuck in the ink there. Unfortunate timing there. And I mean, Royalty just out of reach to try to really capitalize on that unfortunate error. And especially with losing 1 member, now you have the vacuum coming out. That's going to create the perfect opening for this basket pop here. With the Wavebreaker 2, this is a very good instance of special stacking, folks. 2Goober2Dash having 3 members of Royalty down to the 40 mark, and it just keeps going.
And right on cue, I was about to note the exact same thing. The specials being used expertly by 2Goober2Dash. Wavebreaker on top, rest of the team follows suit. It's just a lot of control that 2Goober2Dash had. And what they originally started off as just the 1 power clam push turns into a bigger lead. And now Royalty had multiple opportunities, now has to build a better push so far. And 2Goober2Dashers are looking to find ways to prevent that from happening. Their paintbrush shut down, though. That is 1 step to prevent the skirmish from continuing on. They're going to need to look for more picks. They find 3 themselves, and Royalty will be looking to move forward to see if they can have another chance at a push. But note the time left. It is 30 seconds down, and they've broken the barrier.
Yeah, they need to have really fortunate clam spawns to really get something going here, Keon, especially losing the Viper player. That's a lot of aggression that's going to be out of their hands here. GTR going to be coming in to maybe clear some space. That's 3 members of 2Goober2Dash still being down. A lot of follow-up going to be had here. The basket is still open down to the 32. Joe trying to get a few more clams. There's just a stream of clams going in towards the basket. That's down to the 23 with the lead change at that. They need to just hold on a little bit more for 2Goober2Dash to push this into overtime now with only, I mean, that's at least 1 power clam and a few to follow up to even remotely want to flip the lead, Keon.
Yeah, but they gotta start moving up soon because they lost the tent, they lost the paintbrush. That's a lot of skirmish being down, and that lead change was huge. That's a lot of control that they needed so far. Change trying to build up the space that they can, but there's no push available. Royalty bought just enough time, and the run for 2Goober2Dash is done. Royalty moves on to losers finals to play Inkbound, and that last 30 to 35 seconds for Royalty was so well played.
Absolutely, dude. Wow. I mean, it's okay. I'm gonna quote Nito again because it's one of those things where someone says something and you're like, yeah, okay, you're right. Like that's a good nugget. But then it keeps coming up. No lead is safe. No lead is secure because 2Goober2Dash down to the 28 mark. Phenomenal lead to have in Clam Blitz, and especially with the amount of defensive pressure that they have been putting out through the entirety of the game down to the wire. But it didn't matter because Royalty, like, they found their opening. They had the keys to success. They had a really great stream. I think it was around this point where Joe went back and grabbed some power, like some clams in their hands. But you could see at one point a stream of clams being thrown from person to person and up into the basket. They had a great like one push that was just kept the basket open for almost, I mean, like 30 seconds, which again, like, is not a long time, but in the course of a Splatoon game, 30 seconds is a huge amount of time, and especially to keep a clam blitz basket open. So,
and I was gonna say it's all enabled by Royalty taking 3 members out of 2 Goober Dash, which builds all the space that